Public Health Update, July 15th, Part 1. Reproductive Health Care Protections. In response to the Supreme Court decision that overturned Roe v. Wade, President Biden today signed an executive order protecting access to reproductive health care services. The executive order will safeguard access to reproductive health care services, including abortion and contraception, protect the privacy of patients and their access to accurate information, promote the safety and security of patients, providers, and clinics, and coordinate the implementation of the federal efforts to protect reproductive rights and access to health care. The recent Supreme Court decision does not change access to abortion in Minnesota because the right to abortion is protected by the Minnesota Constitution. Nothing in the decision changes Minnesota's protection to that right to reproductive freedom. But states across the country, including our neighboring states, have implemented or are about to implement strict restrictions on reproductive health care services. Additionally, Governor Walz recently issued Executive Order 2216 to protect reproductive health care services in Minnesota and help protect people seeking or providing abortions in Minnesota from laws in other states. The executive order requires that state agencies use their existing authority to work together to find opportunities to protect Minnesotans providing or seeking abortions. To the maximum extent allowed by the law, it prohibits state agencies from using resources to help in any investigation that would impose sanctions for providing, assisting, or attempting to get reproductive health care services that are legal in Minnesota. It also states that the governor will use all legal discretion to decline to extradite people who are charged under other states' laws that criminalize providing, seeking, or obtaining reproductive health care services. COVID-19 vaccines for young children. Parents and families can now choose to extend strong protection against COVID-19 to our youngest children in Minnesota. Federal health officials now recommend COVID-19 vaccines for all children 6 months and older. Like with vaccines, our older age groups, the vaccines for young children were found to be safe. And these vaccines should be effective at preventing severe disease and death. The Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine and the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine have both been authorized for this group. It is critical to get all recommended doses for maximum protection. Use the state's Find My Vaccine location map to find vaccine providers near you. Additionally, the state's community vaccination site at the Mall of America will be offering Pfizer vaccines for people 6 months of age and older. Appointments are required for children 6 months to 5 years. Find appointments at COVID-19 Community Vaccination Program. Families can all get vaccinated at the same time. Application period open for post 9/11 veteran service bonuses. Governor Tim Walz announced that veterans who served during the global war on terrorism can now apply for a bonus payment to recognize their service. During the 2022 Minnesota legislative session, the post 9/11 Veteran Service Bonus Program was included as part of the first comprehensive Veterans Omnibus Bill. In recent memory and signed by Governor Walz on May 10, 2022, the law includes nearly $25 million for service bonuses to post 9/11 era veterans and Gold Star families. Eligibility information and applications for veterans or the beneficiaries are available online. Summer community engagement for addressing race-based policing. Following a 2-year investigation, the Minnesota Department of Human Rights, MDHR, found that the City of Minneapolis and Minneapolis Police Department engaged in a pattern or practice of race discrimination in violation of the Minnesota Human Rights Act. This summer, in partnership with the MDHR, the Minnesota Justice Research Center, MNJRC, will lead the community outreach for MDHR. There will be 5 community engagement sessions to gather ideas from community members on how to best address race-based policing through a consent decree. Lessons learned from community members will be included in a report to MDHR that will inform the content for a consent decree with the City of Minneapolis and the Minneapolis Police Department. Please visit mnjrc.org/events to RSVP for these events and to learn more about this project. State of Minnesota job postings. The Minnesota Department of Natural Resources, DNR, is hiring for an assistant administrator. This position manages the day-to-day operation of the Office of Communication and Outreach, OCO, while overseeing the administrative properties, unit, and program supervision, financial, technological, and other resources. Additional information is available online using job ID 56307. Additionally, the MDHR is currently looking for an outreach director. This position works with nonprofit organizations and human rights commissions across the state that work on civil rights issues through outreach, education, and policy development around the Minnesota Human Rights Act. Anyone interested in the position can access the full description and apply online with job ID 57180. All applicants must submit a cover letter to be considered for this position. Department of Labor and Industry translated materials. The Department of Labor and Industry's DLIs documents and web pages about topics including workplace safety, workers' rights, apprenticeship, workers' compensation, and more are translated into multiple languages and available on their website. DLI also has access to Language Line, a free language translation service for limited English speakers.